Budget and Appropriations Committees. Representative Ashley Hinson, Congresswoman, thanks for coming on the program. We appreciate that. Although Trump, DeSantis, Haley, they're in the lead. We know the caucuses, anything can kind of happen out there. So what do you hear that is happening on the ground? What don't we know that you know?
Well, I can tell you this, Iowans do a very good job of picking presidents and vetting all of these candidates. It's something that we as Iowans take very, very seriously. They like to ask tough questions, put all of these candidates through the ringer, and so that is exactly what you're going to see happen between now and January 15th. We're trying to encourage as many Republicans to come out and caucus as we can because, let's face it, I think all Iowans, Republicans are certainly united in saying we've got to get rid of Joe Biden. He can no longer be the president of this country. His policies have taken us in the wrong direction, and I would argue any Republican is going to beat Joe Biden in 2024. So I'm looking forward to January 15th and hearing what these candidates continue to say to Iowans in my district.
Congresswoman, I do want to ask you about this while we have you with us, an issue that you are very passionate about. Now, you say the Biden administration is failing overall, as you just said, but specifically to protect children in their care. You describe how many migrants buy children to appear as a family unit, and recent reports indicate that our government has actually lost track of more than 85,000 children released to so-called sponsors, resulting in these kids being exploited, abused, or even used in forced labor. Now, in response, you've introduced a bill to address these issues. Tell us a bit more about it and why it's so important.
Well, I think what this comes down to is compassion, right? We take a look at what's happening at the southern border, and the Biden administration loves to say that their border policies are rooted in compassion. But the way I see it, there's nothing compassionate about a wide open border or human trafficking. And that's exactly what my bill is aiming to combat. We know these kids are being literally recycled, reused to cross over the southern border. They're being purchased in order to have these single men have that appearance of being a family unit so they can get released into the country. So what we are seeing is that kids under 14 are particular targets because we can't fingerprint them. We can't track them to make sure that we can know who they are when they're coming across. Our border agents starting to recognize many of these kids being trafficked repeatedly. So my bill, the Prince Act, will just encourage CBP to be able to fingerprint those minors to make sure they aren't taken advantage of by traffickers and cartels. Yeah,
Congresswoman, we got about 20 seconds. I know it's hard to summarize, but there's another bill you're working on basically just to keep statistics down at the southern border. Right. So when I read that, I thought that would just be
logical.
Yes, logical, exactly. But apparently it's not.
We call it Iowa common sense, but I can tell you this, everywhere I go in my district, I continue to hear about the failures at the southern border and the objection to catch and release. So all we're simply asking them to do is give us the real numbers on how many people they're releasing into the interior, how many people the Biden administration is losing track of, because it is a safety and security issue for Iowans and Americans.
Transparency should not be that difficult. Glad you're doing something about it. Congresswoman Ashley Hinson, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And still ahead, you know him well. We all do. Actor and